Rising costs, hardship could lead to social unrest in Nigeria. Well, that story is reported this morning by the Vanguard newspaper. The African Development Bank expressed concern that rising cost of fuel and other commodities could lead to social unrest in Nigeria. The AFDB issued the warning in its macroeconomic performance and outlook for poor, in which it projected there is a projection that the economy of Africa as a continent will grow by 2022. Why is there a possibility of unrest in some African countries, including Nigeria?
If you look at AFDB for Africa, it's a financial and economic powers for Africa. And when we have a platform like that, then you should expect projection. And their projection cuts across all the sectors. Their projection cuts across all the areas that matter. Project on economy. We have a president, and that president is qualified to be the president of all presidents in Africa because he is the president for all the African countries, 54, 55 African countries. And of course, he should be able to project for us. And we also have another thing there. The man who is at the helms there is a Nigerian, is an Ogun State man who understands everything that works in Nigeria and those that are not working in Nigeria. He was formerly the Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria, and of course, he served meritoriously in Nigeria, so he knows what is happening in Nigeria. Don't forget, we've never had his era in Nigeria because as a Minister of Agriculture, he introduced a lot of policies that helped farmers. Till today, farmers will still ask you that they should bring the like of Akim Adeyinka as a minister because at that time he established what we call the wallet pocket and wallet system for which they transfer the input, they transfer the fertilizers and whatever they have to give the farmers through that wallet that everybody must register through that wallet, register, submit your account, they transfer everything. It doesn't go through any second, it doesn't go through any intermediary. You receive your alert directly, and that we are unable to replicate in that sector.
They also gave them phones.
That is what I'm saying. That's for you. You are going to see a lot on your phone, and of course, you go and claim it. So we've never had that, and that is the way to go in order to prevent what he foresaw. What he foresaw is that there may be a social unrest. Yes, we are getting to that. We need to really do a lot of things to forestall it, and it seems President Tinubu has a listening ears. Don't forget, he did an emergency meeting on Thursday, where he's coded and even admonished all the governors to go and do palliatives, to go and have special palliatives as well as improving their economy. Our own governor, don't forget, was he rushed to address us through a press briefing to tell us what he's going to do. The same thing happened in Osun yesterday. The same thing happened in Kwara yesterday. So they have been rolling out a lot of palliatives in short, medium, and long terms. And of course, this is as a result of perceived social unrest that may start soon. And of course, they need that in the board. Last week, when we were talking here, you saw the emotions. You saw. I was actually reporting what was happening in the town, and of course, for our colleagues in other radio television stations. So it shows that government listens to us. It shows that they listen to the people, and of course, they are speaking to the voices not yet to rule. They need to do more by ensuring that, because one thing to say you are palliatives and not monitoring how it's being disbursed. And of course, it is fair enough. They said they're not going to open borders. They said they're not going to control the foreign exchange abnormally. They said they want to do everything to change the economy for better. And what is that? It to ensure that where the food and the grain are hoarded, they should send IGP and other agents to ensure that that place is burst. And of course, they move all the food or the grain they kept en masse to the society for people to get. That's one. Second thing is that they should go and pay the pension gratuities of all the senior citizens, because they are mostly affected by this. They don't work again, and what they are still earning in the last 20, 30, 10 years, and that's what they are still earning without any increment. So you could see that they are mostly affected by the purchasing power, because they don't have any say in what happens to their salary or their pension again and gratuity. So they were mostly affected, and that's the reason they said they should capture them first. And the second thing is that for those whose deductions have been withheld for a long time, they should roll out money to pay the money. In fact, kudos to our own governor. He says that he's going to be paying 500 million every month to ensure that backlog of deductions are settled. And at the same time, they are rolling out a lot of things for students, university students, polytechnic students, the primary school students, second. So these are what they are doing in short term. In the medium term is to ensure that they are empowering farmers. Empowerment of farmers means that they need to deal with farmers individually, and they need to go to their localities, not doing something at the state government level. No, they need to carry along all the 704 local governments and ensure that farmers like Avans, like Rivan, like Wheat Farmer Association, they are captured, not sending somebody to someone. In doing that, we will not get it rightly. And in the long term solution is that they are trying to control the foreign exchange, naira as again foreign exchange, and that's the reason they said you should allow Cardoso to control the monetary policy as being saddled with by the CBN, rather than telling him what to do. But if he doesn't perform credibly well, he will be jacked out. He will be sent out of that CBN. So what this man is saying is Nigerians should be patient. Nigerians should also be talking every time. Nigerians should also be appraising what they are implementing every time, so that they give them feedback to know where they are having deficiency and where people are not covered. This must be done with all in good faith. This must be done every time to ensure that all the policy of government is being followed, is being appraised, is being assessed by anybody. Ditto for Ogun State, ditto for any other state government. We need to tell them this is what you are doing rightly. If you are to commend them, this is criticizing them so that they can get it right. If you don't do that, they will not get it rightly.
Obviously, there's high cost of living, and is affecting a lot of people. Recently, there were some protests in some places in Lagos. All right, so are this the signs of this unrest that you're talking about?
Not only Lagos, there was protest in Songota last week,
Yeah.
for which they blocked all the roads, and of course, it's telling us that it's coming to even the city, the capital city, Abeokuta, very soon. If we don't do anything, we need to really do some things now, because the prices of commodities are increasing. If you look at the piece, whether what we need as a load or what we need as essential commodities are increasing on daily basis, and people cannot continue to fold their hands. We need to get to the root of the matter in terms of agriculture or manufacturing. When we have that, it is when we have that the price of commodity will go down. A lot of farms are folded off in recent past, because they don't have today. The price of a ton of maize is 670,000 naira. That's the ton for a maize. The price of a ton for soya beans is 650,000 to feed the birds and some other. Now they are going to, because they don't have money to do all this, and that's the reason you see that the price of a crate of egg is between 3,600 to 4,000 naira this morning. So that's the reason you see that if you are to buy a fowl, it's between 5,000 to 15,000 naira for just one fowl. So we need to really look at the way of financing agriculture. Get this thing by investing in 3 months a maturity crop, and get invested in 3 months maturity livestock. We have broiler, we can do that. So this is what we need to do now. And then fish ponds. Let's roll out a lot of things to ensure that we have fish ponds that we can supply people. People are really hungry, and hunger means anger. That is what you are saying.
Aspect of security.
It's OGBC 90.5. Razak Daniela is still very much here with us in the studio. Razak said a lot of interesting things this morning. At the same time, we should look at that aspect of agriculture funding which you mentioned, that there should be a lot of attention on that. But at the same time, the worry of so many people is the fact that um, the majority of the food come from certain areas, and these are areas where security has insecurity has sent the farmers, out
Out
of
of their farms.
their natural habitat, and a lot of people are scared. Farmers are scared to go into the farms to farm. You mentioned 3 month tenure crops, 6 month tenure crops, and all that and all that. Before you could nurse a plant to that maturity stage of harvest, you need to be there. And to be there, you were scared. These herders can come around that. How far have we gone in making that in the bud?
Let me say that two things are affecting it. Number one is insecurity. Number two is we rely so much on agriculture in Nigeria, and where we're having a bit of education, that is in the north. Insecurity is disturbing them on daily basis, and that's the reason to be out of the ECOWAS. It's second than Nigeria, because today we don't farm again in the north again. We don't farm anymore. They are importing cow, pepper, beans, onion, and anything you can think of from Mali today. And that's the reason a cow is as high as 1 million naira, 1.5 million naira a cow in Nigeria today, because they are dollar and festival today. They are more valuable than our naira. Therefore, if you are importing anything from all those countries, then you are going to pay more. And that's the reason the price of cow is between 1 million to 1.5 million today. And that's the reason if you go and buy a meat of 1,000 naira in market today, maybe they'll give you 2 pieces. Maybe they'll give 2 or 3 pieces. And that is why it's like that. Poultry products like birds, like a turkey, for us to make a shortfall. But it's so unfortunate that they are folding up. Insecurity is a very, very, in fact, we need to really talk about that insecurity. And got so good, the man at the end of our affair, that's President Tinubu, has given an approval for us to have state police. We are going to have state policing, and of course, that is what is long overdue it is long overdue for a very long time. It will be very hard for you. Apology to whoever that is affected. It's very, very hard for you to bring somebody from Jos to go and police Abeokuta, because it doesn't know us. It doesn't know who we are. It will be very hard for you to take somebody from Abeokuta to go and police Sokoto. It doesn't know who they are. It does not know what are those areas that are red spots. It doesn't know all this. So, but by having state police, and they were fully, they are going to do wonders. Because for me now, if you ask me to head policing in Abeokuta, because this is where I hawk when I was a small boy. I know every nook and cranny. I will tell you what will happen in Ake or what is happening in Ake right now. So this is what we want, and let's use those that are locals to manage the security of their areas. This will go a long way in dislodging criminal elements, in fighting insecurity. But the only thing I will appeal to them, because that's what we have been talking about, even in law class, is that please let the police, state police, be under judiciary. The judiciary, their years are not tenured. These are civil servants. These are there for long and they understand law very well and how law operates. Don't give it to a governor or a speaker that will come for 4 years and go, because within 4 years he might misuse them. So we need to put them not under executive the way police is. Let the police be under judiciary. Let it be under the judiciary, even at the federal level. By so doing, the executive doesn't have that power over them, and they will not misuse them, because that it is the president that control IG and control commissioner. But we need to domesticate it in such a way that judiciary, there are civil servants, that their years are not tenured, will be in charge of security, and they will properly controlled, rather than giving them under the executive or even the lawmakers. They are tenured because they are elected, and they can be used to attack their passive enemies, so to say. So, but judiciary, they don't have enemies, they don't have friends. Everybody is their friend, and that's the reason you will see that what's our logo? What's the judiciary logo? We have a blind woman of justice that having a scale one hand and a sword the other hand, and blindfolded. So if you do badly, it's going to choke you. That's just it. That's just it.
We just hope that all this will be nipped in the bud. Now, it's obvious that Tinubu is working assiduously to level anyone or anything that wants to stand in the way of progress of Nigeria. This is, a secret we want to talk about now, which is coming from the Vanguard, that says, "We're ready to break all walls affecting our progress," Tinubu tells Brazilian President. President Bolaji in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, told Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva that Nigeria is ready to break all the walls standing in our way to progress. And then, of course, President Tinubu said this when he had all fields.
Yes, from what the meeting he had with the governors, emergency meeting he had with the governors last Thursday, opened a lot of they were able to open his eyes to a lot of things that he didn't know before, because it was a strong talk. For our colleagues who covered the event, told us that it was a straight talk, and of course it was the truth. They look at themselves or each other on the highs and spoke the truth. So we are getting to it, and I can tell you we are getting to it, and that's the reason you see that for the first time in history of this country, our governors, they were coming to a emergency briefing to tell us this is what they are doing, and they are doing it immediately. So, of course, for him to have done that, and for him to have said they are looking at a way of establishing state police. Don't forget, it has been a no-go area for a very long time. Whenever they talk about state police, that will be the end of it, because nobody wants to listen about, especially at the presidency, they don't want to hear about state police. So for the first time, you're having somebody who is trying to allow people to break away his power, because the power of security, that's why the man is called chief security officer. So it is in charge of security of the country. So for him now to break it down, to allow governors to exercise some level of security control, is commendable, and that is the reason he's saying that we are ready now. If we're having security, I won't say police in Ogun State, I bet you they will perform better than the Nigerian police force, because they know every nook and cranny of Ogun State, and probably we are using Ogun State Indigene to be the head of them, and definitely somebody from Imeko, somebody from Abeokuta, somebody from Ayetoro, somebody from Ogun Water side, they are going to be people better police Ogun State. than bringing somebody from Jokoto or from Jos to police will be for us.
GPC. We opening the lines right now, but I just want to touch on this so that we add it to whatever callers we also want to mention. Senate vows to protect Nigerians against further increase in fuel price or electricity tariff hike. That's number one. It's reported by the Nation newspaper this morning. And then the Punch also has another interesting report. It says Labour shifts ground on 1 million naira minimum wage as panel meets on Monday. So these are two germane issues that we should mention before we open.
The senators is afterthought. They are not meant for this country. If they have meant well, they'll be this thing should start from them. They wouldn't have allowed Mr. President to buy a 160 million naira car for them. What they are saying, they may not do anything on it because the experiences in the past have shown that these are the people that are even getting the bulk of the money that's supposed to go down.
They should have turned that offer 160 million.
So they should have turned it down. Defending. So for them to say that they will find a way of in fact they cause inflation by accepting to buy such humongous vehicles for 109 and 360, 360 and 109. So it's they cannot tell us that they will resist any further increase. It's not realistic. If you are paying, we are going to have a deadly repercussion, and of course they are jokers. And
okay, so let's go straight to the lines. 0803 437 9453 and 0815 032 0226. These are the lines. 0803 437 9453 and 0815 032 0226. Very, very interesting issues in the dailies this morning. We're talking about them, national issues affecting us, and of course, profiling solution. Our guest is here, Razak Anyela, the regional editor, Business Day newspaper. So we take your calls from that. As we await the calls, let's take one of the headlines we have there.
All right, sir.
Good morning, Debo. Good morning, Bolaji.
Morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr.
Razak. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. I love your analysis, although I'm joining late.
Okay.
But what the issue I have had, I think I appreciate your analysis very much.
Thank you, sir.
We are talking about state police calling, that the judiciary. And that's a new thing I'm hearing, which is very good. I think that will take care of the fears of those who are saying that governors can use the police in their states. And they also said that even at the federal level, it's also come under the judiciary. I think that's a very good thing to put forward. And I hope it can come up very quickly so that we can address the fears of those who are saying that governors are likely to abuse state police. Everybody knows, everybody says that in the advanced countries that we are trying to copy the US, many cities have their police. New York City has your police. So counties have their police. So I think if we are copying this system from the US, we should copy it properly. I think it's a good thing now that Tinubu is making that proposal so that perhaps the police who can police the resource properly. I want to agree with you totally. With your analysis.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Talking about it, I also love what you have just said. Sir, the thing should start from them. I have some hypocrisy to say that. They are themselves part of the contribution. If today we are going to bring down the cost of governance and those who are in political appointments, if they can reduce their wages, I am sure that most of their problems will be solved. This quest for people leading them to criminality, the program will be solved. This will reduce income disparity in this country. Thank you very much for your contribution, Mr.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
0803 437 9453.
I think Baba is his nickname Chicago, so he's bringing in that US style on security.
All right, the numbers again 0803-437-9453 or 0815-032-0226. Those are the numbers to call. But while we wait for the calls, you can still talk about the story coming from the nation. Nigeria needs urgent solution, says Tabual. Senator Aminu Waziri Tabual has said that the country. Okay, let's put this call. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah,
Good morning.
I'd like to recognize my name.
Welcome,
I'm
sir.
working from Miriakari, the issue of the president and the translator something. We know we are running the same presidential system. That is why the president is still expecting that we have been navigating for the same. Because my grandmother, unless we do that, because I don't see, look at all those countries, come and go to the also called to share money. They are the ones that will send money, the percentage that agree to the president to the thing. Not to instigate something and kind of do a concurrent street. Because it's not done, can't go to anywhere. If the president realize that now, wow. On the issue of agriculture, my dear brother, the president has this belief. You know the tenor of agriculture. But now, because of the war in that region, the person to show you, and the northern region as well, because of the war in that area, and the solar needs something there, the agricultural subsidies are a problem. So people have to feed. That is why I am saying the short term and the long term. My dear brother, president need to go and look at that area too. That short term, where for a certain period, things will go because there's nothing in the market that no food, nobody software that is food anywhere. No, in the any store, no. Because of the production during the security problem we are having for the past 9 years. That is what is affecting us now. It needs to look at that area to at least for 9 months, just to bring the two in from the right there and then there. That is the solution. And for the long period, that is the agriculture for the state. We need to go back. You don't need all this the policy that is doing that the tomato is doing no result. Let them pay the real farmer. And you grant the real farmer to have the also called subsidies, not using wood and cutlass to farm again. That's to plant tractors to plant in farm for them and then have their centers in their local government that try to see have centers there all the agricultural that they're there to continue to deal with them. Not to come to game also. You can't get the real farmers doing that. And that brother. We need those our farmers, the real farmers, to target them. Not the new ones that are thinking the state needs to change their policy. That's where to go.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's a very good point. That they should go through the associations. Of course, they know each other and they know who to give. But if you go through politicians, it will be diverted. So it must go through all these palliatives, all this empowerment.
All right.
My
Hello.
name is Honorable Larry from the People's Parliament in Kamuloleme in Abeokuta. But I want to quickly add that on agriculture, we just need to be very proactive and very serious about it.
Yeah.
Number one, let us open the border, allow everybody to bring in food items before our own process in terms of agricultural products.
Sure.
We have to do from mechanized farming to come around. Each local government must have all the necessary tractors, planters, ridges, howlers, a lot of planters, etc. The government must be ready to be obstacle of all these agricultural products immediately they are harvested. So that farmers can be very happy. Security is very important. When they're going to bring all the people in Alamala, they should go to all our farm settlements, that guiding the place and providing security so that farmers can have rest of mind when they are. We need to do organized farming so that my family can be able to
you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Sounds like our time is fast.
Definitely,
You're not
definitely.
sure.
You have said it. Let's do mechanic farming. Let's ensure that we do this time around, and of course, the food will be abundant for all of us.
Okay, a big thank you to everyone who contributed this morning. All our callers, we appreciate you very sincerely for being part of today's production.
And then, of course, the editors will appreciate you, Elizabeth Kuforije, Bisola Oludotun, and Bigwe Wahab. Say thank you. Our city managers, Yemi Serukudi, the ICT guys, Adedoyi Bangwadi, and Basit Awe. So it's been a Yemi Show production. Thank you so much for today. I am Bolaji Eze.
And I'm Debo Adeyinka. Have a nice day.